So welcome to Central London Alliance's webinar on enhancing your business. So effectively today, what we'll be running through is all of the complementary areas of marketing and offers that can help increasing your revenue and reduce your costs for your businesses in London. So the majority of you on this webinar are either members of the City of London Corporation or of a business improvement district. Those organisations are brand partners of the Central London Alliance. And that means that you benefit from all of these complementary routes of marketing and offers, as I said. So what we want to make sure is that you're capitalizing on them, you know of the opportunities that you can get involved with. And as always, it's at no charge because of your organizations that have partnered with us. So before I go into more detail over all of those different routes, I just want to introduce you to Nick Bodger from the City of London Corporation to say a few words.
Hi, thanks, Nadia. I assume many of you will probably know me, but I'm Nick Bodger. I'm Cultural and Visitor Development Director for the City of London Corporation, with responsibility for really ensuring that recovery happens as best we can make it happen within the city as a destination. We became members of the Central London Alliance back in November 2020, when the recovery of the city was something of an unknown. I have to say we have been totally impressed by the commitment and enthusiasm of Nadia and the team, and the emphasis on working on partnership. We too believe that we are stronger together, and I know many of you have been working with us to drive that recovery as we move forward. The city is made up of a wide range of businesses. Everyone thinks of the banks and the law firms, but there are hundreds of smaller businesses across hospitality and retail. And these are what make the city an attractive proposition for financial and professional services. And we need to retain that attractiveness. So they are incredibly important to us. But those sectors rely on a mix of workers and business and leisure tourists, never more so now with hybrid working and a concentration of workers, which I'm sure you've all seen in the city from Tuesday to Thursday, with longer, quieter weekends. So to retain the city's preeminent role as a world-leading financial and business centre, we must really seek to support the sectors I've mentioned. They're a crucial part to the city experience and to its attractiveness as a place to be. So, as I said, we've always known that we need to pull together if we're to have a successful recovery, and that we have to consider new markets like the local and UK leisure visitor segments, noting that business and overseas visitors will not be coming back quickly. Since November, Central London Alliance has helped us to do just that, and have been delivering the brilliant London Love Affair campaign. And I hope all of you have seen that. We've had some great coverage in that. We're really proud to be a part of it. It's achieved some truly remarkable results. Not least, over the 53 weeks of the campaign, it's achieved 163 million impressions. And Nadia talked about the many services available to you. We've also been really lucky in being able to use those in other campaigns that are homegrown, as well as through the Central London Alliance. So we continue to contribute to the London Love Affair campaign because we believe that it presents a great opportunity for the city and for those sectors I mentioned to get coverage and to gain business, driving footfall at times when we most need it. I just thoroughly recommend it to you to take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented today. That's it from me. I hand you back to Nadia and look forward to this webinar. Thank you, Nadia. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Nick, and for those kind supportive words. So where I'm going to start today is just a bit of a recap over what we've done last year, because hopefully that will help you understand all the different areas that you can be a part of. So Central London Alliance, as Nick kindly introduced for us, we were set up in the summer of 2020, and we're a community interest company, and our sole purpose is to support the sustainable economic recovery of London's businesses, the hospitality, culture and tourism sectors, to be able to recover from the coronavirus, but also to survive through it and other issues that might hit London. So we're all about driving the centre of London to ensure its continued viability as a leading global city. So just to let you know, the people behind the Central London Alliance, on our board sits Tony Matharu. He is the Chief Executive of Integrity International Group and also Blue Orchid Hotels, and he's the Chairman of the Asian Business Association, and Richard Burge, who's the Chief Executive of the London Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and also myself. So we have 3 different working streams in order to achieve our goals. They're support and guidance for the business community and their workers, campaigns to boost consumer confidence, which is the London Love Affair campaign, and also targeted policy recommendations for London. So if we start by looking at the business support. So you can actually benefit from free B2B connections with up to 20,000 businesses and their employees, free B2B advertising, including email marketing, and all of our email marketing generates an open and click-through rate 10% above the industry average. And we have businesses that have actually managed to generate thousands of pounds from advertising within the Central London Alliance network. Access to multiple business service offers that enables you to save your costs, and access to employee discounts so that you can reward your workforce. So now I'm going to show you how you can have access to all of that. So I'm just going to switch screens. So all of you hopefully should know the Central London Alliance website. If you haven't already, then I strongly encourage you to create your profile. I have already created and I've logged into mine for the sake of this webinar. And for the sake of this webinar, I'm going to speak on behalf of Blue Orchid Hotels, so a business within the City of London, so that you can see how it would work for business. So I, Nadia, am set up as the account manager for Blue Orchid. So you have one account manager per business. That account manager has access to your profile. So the first thing that I do is I set up my personal profile for my job within Blue Orchid, for example. So I fill in as much details as I want to. The reason why there's, for example, dietary requirements is when we have events, we don't need to keep asking you, we've got it on record. So you don't need to fill it in if you don't want to, but you fill in as much or as little as you'd like. There is an area for budget, if you're responsible of budget, and that's useful for you networking so that you're aware if you're speaking to the right person. A key thing, top tip, is to make sure that if you would like to network with the whole, all the members of Central London Alliance, to make sure you show your contact information and that you can receive incoming messages. I strongly recommend these 2 things. So this was the first section on personal information. Then you've got your company information. So this is where you make sure, if you want to work with your marketing team, that your company profile is up to date. So you include your logo, your contact details, your description, summary description of your company. This is where you can then add all of your colleagues to also benefit from the platform. So you simply press add colleagues and you fill in their name and their email address, and they will be sent a link. With that link, they will be able to update their personal information. What they will not have access to is any of these other tabs here. So that means they can then network and take advantage of the offers, which I'm going to show you shortly. For yourself, they will sit, sorry, my pictures aren't loading, but they will sit below here. That means myself as the account manager has the ability to be able to remove somebody or disable them if they leave my organization. Okay, then I'm just going to show you where these 2 sit on the front end before we carry on going through these tabs. So we click on directory and we click on organization. Now you can see that Blue Orchid profile appears here. So I'll just show you how that looks. All the information that I included sits here. So now let's just say that I wanted to network with Optimizer. I can click more and I can see their contact information here. So that's their generic one. So I can take it off the website and contact them directly. If, however, I'd like to contact a specific member of staff, they will appear here and I can click on this link here, or I can go back to the directory and click on individual. And let's just say now I want to liaise with Tony. I can click on his profile. I can read more about him and I can send him a direct message. If he's given me access to his contact details, they will also be down here. Tony unfortunately hasn't, but if he has, then they'll be down here and I can grab his email address. So this is all available for everybody within the Central London Alliance network. So I'm just going to show you the message. Please excuse the conversation, but I was messaging this gentleman here. You can see his contact details are here, so if I wanted to grab them, they're there. Or I can click the message button and you can see our conversation. It's not that exciting, but I can add attachments and I can have a direct conversation with him. So that's on the networking side of things. If I go to now on my next tab, I go to company offers. This is where I can then market offers within my business to other businesses. So this is the B2B side of things on the rest of the Central London Alliance network. So it's very simple. You just click add new offer and you follow all of the instructions. So you can add an offer for a business or for the employees within that business. So I'll just explain the difference shortly. When you put your offer, you can have it by a code. So typically, a lot of the time when you do an employee discount, let's just say for a restaurant, you might want to give them a code that they apply to your website. So that you would obviously select code and you'd insert the offer code here. Or if it's a little bit more complicated, for example, as Blue Orchid, we might want to give businesses preferred rates. We'd say it's by request. And that means that somebody just needs to send us an email of what they would like to book with us. And I would fill in the contact email address that that inquiry needs to go to. And it will happen automatically. So let me just show you how that works on the front end. So if I go to support and offers, let's go for business. Let's go for London Chambers offer. So I can read more about it. Now, if myself as Blue Orchid would like to take advantage of this offer, I press submit your request. Now, I can only press submit because I am a member and I'm logged into Central London Alliance. I'm not going to because it will actually go direct to the London Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So whichever email address they put on the back end, my inquiry would go straight to. If, for instance, and this is where the employee offers come into place. For example, let's just say I would like, okay, I'm not going to go for 20% off men's grooming, 20% off a luxury spa. I'd like that. So this is where all of your employees can take advantage of all of the different offers. And I would like to receive this. Again, I press submit and I know that this one is done via code. So automatically the code is sent to my inbox the minute I press submit. So there's two ways to look at the advantages here. One, you as a business can benefit from all of the support and offers on these pages. So for example, you've got complimentary venue hire, you've got match funding from JC Deco on outdoor advertising, you've got the London Chambers services, you've got some COVID products as well. And also all of your employees can benefit from different offers on here, as I showed you earlier. So 20% off men's grooming, 20% off dining, but it's also me as a business, a way to be able to advertise to city workers. And this is all complimentary as part of the City of London and your Business Improvement District's brand partnership with the Central London Alliance. So just to show you 3 more assets that are coming onto the platform, and then I'll probably pause to see if there's any questions on the business support before I go into campaigns. So also coming on the platform is an area called community. So this means that you can start a conversation with other people around other people that are members of the Central London Alliance on a specific topic. So for example, you might want to have a discussion around nighttime economy. There will be somebody to lead that conversation, and then you can either keep it open or closed, and you can have it invite only or anybody can join it. So the way your community would look is you have a little summary description of what you're discussing, who is the chair, a button for people to join if it's open. You can see the members that are involved, if you've got any events that are part of your community discussion, any documents you'd like to load, and also a live message board so that you can keep the conversation going. Okay, so that community board, sorry, it's just showing you now the different areas. So as I said, you can have the events that will appear under your community topic, or also your documents will just sit underneath it. And then finally, you've got your message board. So people can just have a conversation over this specific discussion point. The next thing that is coming on the platform is resources. So this is for you to be able to upload white papers or to download them as well. So a lot of us do produce papers on research that we have found. So it's a way for you, if you've got a paper, to increase your distribution, or if you'd like to download them to learn more, they will sit on the resources page. Then the final section that is to come is jobs. So if you would like to list a job offer that you have, you can do on the Central London Alliance Network. So this will be coming in a few months. And I'm just going to show you the design frames at the moment, how they're looking. So we'll have a top filter section, which will just summarize the latest jobs, or somebody viewing can also search by industry. They can search by location and any specific sort of job title that they'd like to. The job posting would look like this. So you've got your title, kind of key information, overview, your job description, and then people can apply. When people click apply, they have the ability to upload all of their contact details, a resume, and also a cover letter if they would like to. So yourselves as members of the Central London Alliance, you can upload your job offers that is completely at your discretion. If you would like to, you have complete management over it. You can edit your job post, you can delete it, you can deactivate it, and it's a completely free marketing service. We will then market, obviously, those jobs for you, but you can upload them all by yourselves. And it will be very simple, just like how it is with the offers. So you just follow the fields on the form. And if ever you have any questions or any troubles, it's not a problem to email us. I've got the email addresses on the end of this webinar, but it is just hello@centrallondonalliance.com. So whilst I just change screens, if you've got any questions on the business support, then please pop them in the question and answer session or on the chat, and we'll pick those up. And if there's no questions, then I will take the assumption that I've explained everything very well. Okay. So for the moment, I can't see any coming in. Ah, there's one. Okay, let me just grab that question. No, okay. Fab. Well, if you have any questions that come up whilst I'm speaking, please do not hesitate to ask them. Okay, let's get back to this presentation. Okay. So just a quick touch point on targeted policy recommendations for London. So we do have a policy working group. Some of our brand partners are part of this. And the reason we have this, we just feel it's necessary to have a non-political collective voice that is heard amongst the media and to government to just speak on behalf of the businesses of what they need. We are definitely not a lobbying group. We're just there to advise on the voice of all the businesses that we represent. So just I mean, I'm not going to read all of these out. You can see them on the screen, just to highlight a few of the achievements that we've had in this section. So we're part of the conversation of abolishing the curfew for the hospitality businesses and also extending the furlough beyond the end of April 2021. If anybody would like a copy of these afterwards, please just let us know. I'm more than happy to provide them to you. Just going to move our faces. We were part of the conversations to have an investment in a global destination marketing campaign to encourage local and domestic and international visitors, and also in the reintroduction of the night tube. Okay, so on to my exciting part, which is the consumer campaign. So as Nick kindly mentioned earlier, our campaign was called London Love Affair, and I hope that you have seen it. The idea stemmed, so please just remember that this launched in the April, soon after the pandemic started. So when we first launched, it was very much about reminding people what they loved about central London, because everybody had been at home and locked away, and we weren't used to coming in. So we needed to remind everybody what they loved and rekindle those memories. So how we first started was we created a photo shoot of some key areas in London. And our technique with that photo shoot was people weren't used to having lots of people around them, which is why these images were sparse with nobody in. But our way of doing it was you could see the landmark. Let's just take this image to describe it. You can see the landmark in the background, which meant you knew where you were. And you knew it was central London, but the foreground enabled us to annotate that image and put a memory marker, and perhaps you felt like you were walking down that street as well. So just to give you an example of some of those adverts that we then created, we looked at different audiences, and we took these images and created these adverts. So a couple of examples are, this is where we'd watch the sunrise after Saturday nights. Every inch of London holds monumental memories. Or this is where we were influencers for a day, so talking to a different audience. No matter how the world changes, our London love affair doesn't have to stop. And then another audience, this is where I'd escape the working week in a single lunch break. So we had about 9 of these different adverts, and they were shown. We worked with JC&Co, our media partner, and they were shown across the United Kingdom on rail stations, and they achieved almost 16 million impressions on their first launch of the campaign. We worked with City AM on digital advertising, having various different media adverts across multiple different platforms. We had our own budget to put behind Google display and social media adverts, and then we did some specific promotions, as you can see in the partner specific one. And we worked with the media. We were seen in over 20 national and local media titles, including City AM, BBC Radio London, and MSN. And then after that sort of phase finished and we started to come out of lockdown, we changed our focus to be about people coming back to work. So it's time to break up with the sofa and get back to the business in the city that we love. So we were encouraging a safe recovery to stimulate visits and highlight the reasons for returning to the workplace that are not just about the desk, from cultural, hospitality, retail, and other activities that are joined in lunch breaks and after work and overnight stays. Now, this part of the campaign continues, and I'm going to tell you how you can be involved this year. So what we've done so far on this part of the campaign, July to September last year, we refreshed all the photography to start to have people in it, looking at different aspects that would resonate with the working population. So for example, this is where the door to London reopens. This is where we take in the view on our coffee break. This is where I take in the views on my ride to work. Let's get back to business in the city that we love. Just a few more examples if you haven't seen the visuals, so you can see them. And then we worked with influencers across the city, a range of different ones, from the younger generation to a slightly older generation, always measuring the impact that they had to promoting our businesses. And the hashtag London Love Affair has been growing considerably. We've had a taxi wrap that's been going around London for a few months. We've been on the radio with over 1.5 million impacts. We produced a video, which I believe is about to play. I'll just play the first few seconds, but if it doesn't load, I'll skip on. We're driving cars on a Mars tonight. We're blasting off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go, So just a snippet of the video. We've worked with City EM to produce articles that are specific about returning to the office. And those of you that know City EM, they have monthly visits of 2 million and monthly page views of 3 million. We've worked with digital adverts within offices. So that's when you go through the lifts and in reception areas. And we've had over 7.8 million impressions with these adverts. And just to give you a little bit more of the results, as Nick said earlier, the whole campaign so far has had over 163 million impressions. And that video you saw earlier had over 1 million impressions in just a couple of weeks. So the ROI of the campaign so far, if you take an average of all different industries, so not just travel, you're looking at a 7.83 million return, which generates 319 jobs in the city. And if we look at the travel industry, just looking at those algorithms, then we're looking at a ROI of 10 million on the campaign spend with 414 jobs. So the important thing, what's to come, I hope that explained of the campaign and how you can be involved, or how you could have been involved last year. So what's to come this year is in June, July, we are launching a packages campaign. So what that is we are capitalizing on this new hybrid working model. So if people are coming into the city a couple of days a week, what are they doing in their lunch breaks? What are they doing after work? Are they staying overnight? So we want to combine package experiences that we can sell to the people that are commuting into central London. So you can be a part of this, as I said, complimentary. All we need to know is what you want to offer them. Is it an offer? Is it an experience? What would you like to put in the package? The way to be involved is best ways to contact the City of London Corporation or your bid manager, depending who you're part of. I've got bid managers' emails coming up. Or even our email address, which I'll put on later. And there's a one-page form that you just fill in your details for those packages. In September, we will be creating a sort of festival of culture and arts. That's not the name of it, but just to give you an idea. And this will be a series of pop-up events across London, central London, to just bring the key attributes of London's cultural and offering to life, and really drive people for a reason to come into central London. You also can be part of our email marketing to our consumer campaign in the London Love Affair campaign, which again is completely complimentary. All you have to do is load your offers onto the platform, and we will be able to pick them up off of that and put them all in our email adverts. And we also put them out on our social adverts and Google display ads as well. If you've ever got any questions, or you have ideas, or you have something specific that's going on in your organization, please feel free to just email us what you've got going on, and we will pick it up and market it across all of our channels. So our website, our social media, our emails, on the platform, in our adverts, if we've got any media opportunities. Our purpose is to market your businesses. And as I said, if you're part of the bids or the City of London Corporation, it is all complimentary. So me as a marketing person, I would grab the chance to be able to market any business that I represent complimentary. So for those that need it, these are your points of contact for your respective business improvement districts. So again, we can send these to you afterwards. I'll just move Nick and I's faces down. Oops, sorry. If anybody needs these, you're welcome to take a little screenshot of it. And then for anybody that needs our details at Central London Alliance, you have my email at the bottom there, nadia@centrallondonalliance.com, and our generic one, which our team pick up. We've got multiple members of our team, hello@centrallondonalliance.com, and someone will always come back to you. And as I said, you've got that website where I showed you the platform that you can upload all of your offers and just automatically be advertising. So I hope that gave you some insight. Please feel free to ask any questions to myself, Nick, any of your business improvement districts. I know we've got a few representatives on the call. If you've got any comments, please put them in the chat and your question and answers. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And yeah, Nick and I are both here. And Nick, if you've got anything else to say, you're more than welcome to.
Well, just to say thank you, Nadia. Very illuminating, brilliant. And I urge everyone to take advantage. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. So I'll just give you a few minutes if you'd like to ask us any questions. If there are no questions, I will take the compliment that I explained everything correctly and well and clearly. Other than questions, that is everything that we need to cover this morning. Oh, I think one has come in. Let me just see. Okay, yeah, one has come in. Let me just answer that for you. So the question is, if we post a job ad, would it be promoted beyond the website presence? Yes. So to begin with, they will be on the website, and then we will be doing via our email channels, our social media, LinkedIn, and we will be looking at whether we put any Google ads behind it. But for the moment, those channels that I just mentioned, it will also be advertised on. So yes. Great. Any other questions about that? I know there's a few new services that we've popped on, so resources, community, jobs, which is available to everybody. Okay. Do you have any feedback on the best sort of offers that work best? Yes, I can also go with, I can give you an example of one that has generated thousands of pounds of businesses, is somebody has put, well, this was very specific to their industry. People have put that they would match fund a service. So this has actually happened with multiple people in the media industry. So with, for example, like radio adverts or print adverts, people have replied match funding, and that's done very well. So you've sort of got the shared risk approach. Other ones that have done well are when you start with free, but it might not be that all of your offer is free. So it could be a free starter, but then obviously you have to pay for your main. They have done quite well. And anything that has got a sort of, anything that's a little bit more than 10%, it doesn't necessarily need to be a percentage of a discount. It could be a kid going free, or so Kids Week actually did very well with us. A child going free, or an add-on experience, anything that's just a little bit more than your generic sort of 10%, they have done very well as well. They've just got a lot of click-throughs, a lot of attraction, a lot of people taking advantage of their offers. So I hope that answered that question. Any more? I'll give it one more minute. If not, I will say thank you very much. Yeah, one more question. Can businesses include your videos, etc., on their own website? Absolutely, great question, and we certainly encourage it. So that website, which I think may have been a little bit jolted due to internet connection when I was sharing it, yes, you can have a copy of that. We can clip it smaller for you if you want it on a different channel that needs a smaller file. But yes, if you would like the video that we showed you earlier that we have invested in to showcase London and the City of London, there are various different areas, you can have that. You can host it on your website, you can host it on your social media channels. Just pop us an email or ask your representative, and we will share that link with you. You can actually also download it directly from the London Love Affair website. So it's just londonloveaffair.com, and on the top right there's a join us similar button. You click on that, and then there's a button saying download toolkit. In that toolkit you will get the link for the video, and you'll get a range of different assets, static and dynamic, that you can advertise the video through your own channels. And if you need any more, again, you just email us and we'll create those free of charge for you. So I hope I answered that question. Okay. I'm going to assume that that was the last one. So thank you very much for all your time. Know that we are here to help you. Know that we are here on the end of a phone or an email or even a coffee to explore your ideas. We're more than happy to listen. We're here to represent businesses and help you not just survive, but thrive and get the business that you deserve and get the attraction back. So thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you for the City of London and all the business improvement districts for their support and their continued support. And we look forward to another successful year.